What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another go live here on Indiana Kayak Bass Nation. This time, it is the Ketch tournament recap of the 2026 Indiana Kayak Bass Nation series on Lake Monroe this time around, presented by D Hooker. You guys know the drill. If you're watching, tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in from. Say hi. Let us know you can hear us, see us, all that kind of good stuff. We're going to get this shared out real quick. We got an awesome show for you. We got some surprise announcements we weren't even planning on for this show. We got a special guest, maybe another one sneaking in here later, possibly. And, of course, we've got your president, Merlin Hammer. Let's go ahead and get him in here into the show as I get set up, shared out. Merlin, what's up, buddy?
Oh, not much, man. How's it going?
It is going, man. It is going. It has been a long day, but I'm excited for what we got tonight.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff on the horizon, and we had a great tournament to talk about. And yeah,
that's right. That's right. We're going to start with the tournament, and then we're going to get into some of those big announcements. So definitely stay tuned. If you're not watching this live, you're watching afterwards. That's cool too. Just make sure to watch all the way through because these announcements are big announcements, and we're going to share those on our social later on as well. But
it's a nice new hat you got on there.
Hey, look at that! Look at that hat number 2. So if you guys have been following along, you know how someone ends up with one of these hats, and it's a little teaser for what we're about to talk about in the award. Hey, Merlin, you know what? I put this on. I said, can I pull? I've never had a white hat. Never had a white hat before. I went over to the wife and the daughter. We just wrapped up dinner, and I put it on. I said, hey, can I pull off a white hat? And they both were like, you look really old. You look real old in that hat. So I don't know if that was a yes. I just makes me look older and more, established.
Hey, but the reason I never wear white hats is just the dirty factor. They'd be brown hats.
Yeah. But this is a sharp hat, man. I'm not gonna lie. I love this. I've never had one like this. Now I've got 2.
Yeah, with the mesh.
Yeah, I love the mesh. I'm a snapback kind of guy, so I like that. I like the bill. I love everything about these hats. So kudos to Discount Tackle for throwing some swag out there and picking a great hat. So yeah, really happy about that. But like I said, we got a full show, big announcements, talk about some stuff that's going on nationally that we need to share, and some stuff that's going on here in the state of Indiana. Some switch ups, making things interesting. So stay tuned for that. But here later on the show, we're gonna have, and he joined us kind of impromptu after our captain's meeting. We did our first little doc talk after hours, and Brennan joined us for that. He's going to be joining us now as a podium finisher at Monroe. So another little teaser as to what we're about to get into.
Made a strong comeback effort.
Yes. So with that being said, let's just get right into it. What do you say, Merlin? Should we pull it up, get into the leaderboard?
Let's do it.
All right. Great event on Monroe. Could have been amazing. It got dampened a little bit by, unfortunately, some crazy conditions. Rising water.
It literally got dampened.
Yeah, literally got dampened. Cold front. It was interesting, and it made the rest of the season even more interesting. I think, like, if there's one positive that comes out of this tournament, and we're going to talk about this as we get into the Weather Tight Angler of the Year race later on. If there's one positive that comes out of this tournament, it shook things up, and it made things interesting. I'm excited about that. Looking at this schedule early on, I know for you and for I and even Reedy, like, one of the things we wanted to do is make sure we put lakes at times of the year where they could shine. And man, who would have known we would have a record warmth in April, and then this massive cool down come at the end, right in May, and major rain. So it got challenging on us, very challenging. We had everything lined up. May is almost always a spawn going on in Monroe in early May. The full moon almost always triggers a spawn. You know, it's just it was the perfect setup, and it busted. Monroe did what Monroe does. She's a fickle girl, you know.
And it didn't help that they're pulling their water off their heads either. So
yeah. So all right. Let's see here. Let's pull up the leaderboard. We had 28 anglers for this one, a little lower turnout than our Patoka event. You know, we talked to a lot of those anglers, just a lot of personal stuff going on, a lot of reasons they couldn't make it. Several of them wanted to and just couldn't make it happen. So we ended up with 28 anglers. You see here, we did have a few. This is how tough it was. We had some zeros. You know, some of the best anglers in the state. We got a state champion in the mix right there with Chris Daly in 22nd. Didn't submit a fish. Nate Goodwin, who posted, had a great practice.
A few top 10 people from the Patoka event, even.
Yeah. You know, Marv Jacobs, Jason Kennedy, Justin Cavett, Troy Stinson, and Jackson Tinkle all falling short, not getting a fish in. But look at this. I mean, you got the hammer, Brian Sparks, who has won on Monroe, who has done well at Monroe several occasions, putting up one fish at 12 inches. And thankfully he did. I mean, you're going to see the AOI impacts here in just a moment. Just one fish, what it meant for these guys. And we kind of move up the leaderboard here. We got Scott and Jeffrey and Brett McManus. Jason Wood, top 3 at Patoka. Another guy who knows Monroe very well. Has had success at Monroe.
James, the first winner.
Yeah, James England right above him. Yeah, I mean, crazy stuff here. Andy Lundy with an 18.5. Happy birthday to Andy Lundy, by the way. Andy Lundy's out there celebrating his birthday dinner right now. And, he wanted to be on the show. So yeah. He's out there doing birthday dinner right now.
He made that 18.5 count.
I was really hoping to get Andy on. I want to talk to Andy. One, because he was our BizBaits Big Bass angler. But also, Andy shared early on in the tournament, and if I'm not mistaken, very early in the day, he had the chance at a big bag. And he's the only angler that said that. A few of us had a missed fish or two, of course. You know, a missed kicker in this tournament cost you big time. A missed kicker in this was one of those tournaments where you had to make every bite count. And Andy had some trouble doing that, and he was pretty upset that he missed a great opportunity here. So I'd love to get that story from Andy. Not unfortunately, great for him. He's out there celebrating the little birthday dinner. He said he might try and sneak in later. We'll see. But moving on up from 14th, we got Gary Freeman with 2 fish for 26. You'll notice a trend here, guys. 12s and 13s all over the place. The bucks were chewing, but that's it. Tim Dempsey in 12th. Ryan Becker in 11th. Another guy that's well-seasoned tournament angler with only 2 fish there. Wyatt Guard getting into our top 10 here. Still only 2 fish with 32 3/4 inches. And then we get into Michael Luke, our first angler, with 3 fish in 9th place for 42.5 inches. Crazy, crazy tough.
Yeah, and with these guys, we'll get into it later here, but guys punching their tickets to our championship later this year. Yeah. Top
10 in every tournament gets a ticket punched into the state championship here in Indiana. So if you guys did that, there we got a familiar face in 8th place. Merlin Hammer the third with 43.5 inches.
I'm happy to be there, but I'm also not happy to be there.
I know that hurt to not have both those slots filled for you on a lake that you love.
Yeah. I like you said, there's guys who had chances, and I was one of those, just messed it up, part of it.
Yep. We get into the top 7 here. We got Grubby's very own Ryan Reedy. Talk a little bit more about Ryan Reedy and the Grubby team here in just a few. But he had 4 fish. Our first guy to have 4 fish, 53 inches. Then we move into James Miller coming off a huge win up there at the Kayak Adventure Series in Northern Indiana. The great oh, man. I practiced it so I could get it right, and I messed it up. Mistivious? How do you say it, Marlon? Midwestivus. That's definitely not what I thought it was. So, totally blew that. All right, everybody can make fun of me in the comments. Ready, set, go. But anyway, we had James Miller coming in with 4 fish, 53.5 inches. You know, he was fairly okay with that. He's struggled on Monroe in the past, and so he was happy to at least have something, especially with how tough it is. And then we got Tweezy also coming off a win. He won at Raccoon Lake, I think, following the previous week. 55 inches in 5th place with only 4 fish. So you get top 5 with 4 fish. All right, we got our first limit here. And first out of the money, take home the discount tackle hat and a discount tackle gift card that I got to combine with my other discount tackle gift card from my first out of the money finish at Patoka. So we got some fishing line, a couple jackhammers. So thank you, Discount Tackle, for that. And then our top 3, starting with Brian Moore in 3rd place with 67.25 inches. I was an inch behind. Not too far off. In 2nd place, we're going to have him on in just a second. Brendan McDougall finishing runner-up with 68.25 inches.
And he called 4 times.
Only angler to call that we know of. Only angler to call. Pretty impressive to call 4 times with their smallest 2 fish are 12.5.
Well, especially when only the top 4 even had 4. I mean, after that, only had 4 fish. So
yeah, absolutely. And you also see it. 1575 was a big fish. That was a kicker fish in this event, and he had one of them. And then that leaves our first place finisher, a guy who's no stranger to success on Monroe, Jim Bailey.
And he won with the bait that I like, too. That's what stung.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, where'd Sam go? Are you there, Sam?
I think you guys lost me for a second.
Yeah.
I think I'm back. He took the win with a whopping 75.25 inches. Impressive stuff for Monroe. That's shocking. And during what should have been the spawn. Should have been. And he did it. He did it with a fluke. Said he was fishing the fluke. He was the fluke master.
Yeah, it stings because we all know that I like throwing a fluke.
Yeah. Oh, Jim would have been on the show tonight, I'm sure, but he's working the night shift lately, so he couldn't make it. But he did tell us at the awards so we can share what he did was he got around the buckbrush towards the backs of the pockets, probably anywhere he found buckbrush, and he said he was tossing the fluke up in there, and he was just dead sticking it basically, and then every once in a while he would just give it a little bit of a twitch. Makes a whole lot of sense when you think about it. There's a little bit of a shad spawn trying to happen. I think the weather was holding it back some. I know in practice when I would reel in a moving bait, like a spinnerbait, crankbait, a jackhammer, anything like that, I'd have a pile of shad with me, see them flicker here and there. So, yeah, great strategy, something I've seen him do before on other lakes, not just Monroe, and it panned out. He got on them kind of as the day went, and had an 18-incher to kicker to land to round out his bag, which is exactly what you need, one kicker to win this one. Brandon, we're going to talk to him about how he caught him, but a similar theme for Brandon and Brian Moore. Brian Moore, top 3, he caught his all on a stupid tube fishing the Buck Rush. Goodness. Say that 10 times fast. So, yeah. Why don't we get our second place finisher, his first event with us. And I know he's going to be really excited now about the next two because he's going to have a shot at that Weather Tight Angler of the Year race. So let's get him on here. The young gun, once young gun, is growing up on us now. Brendan McDougal. What's up, dude?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Not as well as you up there in second place.
Feels good, man. Feels good.
Welcome back to the kayak scene, dude.
You got to come on and take one of those big Happy Gilmore checks before I have been able to.
No, man, it feels great to be back, guys. It does. It really does.
So I didn't get to ask you. We did our little impromptu doc talk session the other night, Friday. I didn't get to ask the question. What made you leave the kayak scene, and what made you come back to the kayak scene, and what are your plans for the future?
Yeah, everyone has ambition to go to, right? Whether it's the big boat side, the kayak side, both are great. I was at a point where it wasn't necessarily that I wanted to leave, but I really only one or the other at the time, and had the opportunity to get on big boat and did that for a couple years. Come back. Obviously, it's a lot more affordable, but right now with fuel and everything. So, but KBF, I thought where I started this whole thing, and kind of where I felt that. So
yeah, nice, dude. Well, that's good to hear. A little bit of audio issues with Brendan there. Apologize, a little sketchy here and there sometimes, but I think we got the gist of most of everything you said there. I think the affordability thing is huge. I've had a lot of people ask me why I haven't jumped in a boat, and a lot of people don't know that I actually started on the boat side. But that's one of the things. I truly just love this community. I love the sport of kayak fishing, but affordability is definitely a big part of it as well. So to come back though and get a top three, that's gonna feel good, right?
Feels great, man. It feels great.
Yeah. So getting into kind of talking about with Jim throwing a fluke, and Brian Moore throwing a stupid tube. Sounds like that was kind of a similar deal for you.
Yeah, same stuff. Flipping a tube, flipping a beaver, weightless wacky rig here and there, and that was really it. There has been a pretty good blade bite out there, spinnerbait. I tried to force that here and there, but the conditions just didn't set up for that. So, yeah, I mean, really those three, up in the woods, fishing what looks good. I really rotated just a few areas and spent a lot of time in each one of those three areas and maximized my opportunities and fished clean. And this tournament fishing clean was very critical. And most of the time on Monroe it is.
Yeah. No, well said. Well said. No, I know a lot of fish being caught by guys in the under range. So 12-inch minimum for us in this tournament. A lot of guys are talking about catching 10s and 11s. I know personally I did. My smallest fish being a 12.5. I think I caught several after that one that were 12 and under. Was that a similar story for you? Were you catching a lot of those small buck bass or?
A lot of the small buck bass I was catching were 12 inches to 12 and a half. There are a few deals you can go do out there right now where you can catch a whole bunch of 10 to 11-inch fish, specifically spots, and largemouth. And I chose to fish in a way that I would avoid that for the most part, and I would get less bites. Now, going into this, I thought those bites would be bigger on average, but obviously I think you all said it. I still had a 212.5 or something. So,
One thing I want to say about that though is the last 2 years spawns on Monroe have been great, and that's what you're seeing right now. And yeah, here in a handful of years, if those fish get to where they're supposed to be, Monroe will be doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's a great point. It's a great point. Absolutely. I know for me, a lot of the smaller fish I was catching were spots. It's funny, in practice Thursday, I pulled up on a bank. I caught a 20 and 18 and then shook off several fish. I went straight to that bank to start the tournament, and I caught like a 10-incher on the exact same cast that I caught the 20. I caught another, like the smallest fish I've ever caught in my life on the next cast. It was awful. And I totally forgot that I was in the Grubby fundraiser tournament, and I could have won some money with the smallest limit probably ever. And I forgot all about it. So shame on me for that. Cost myself a little payout. But no, man, love to see you back. Love to see you doing what you do best. And I'm excited for you to be hanging out with us. What's your plans for the rest of this year? Are you gonna fish a bunch of kayak stuff? You gonna fish the rest of the nation? What you thinking?
Yeah. So I'm gonna be at Wawasee for sure. And normally I'm the last person to sign up for these tournaments. I'm probably just gonna be the first one to sign up for that one.
Nice.
Super pumped up for Wawasee. Hitting it at a great time. Raccoon's up in the air. I would love to be there. I'm supposed to be in a BFL in Monroe actually that day, the same day.
Okay.
We'll see where I got one on Patoka here in a couple weeks. We'll see how that goes, and I'll know. But now, fish the state championship, right? I almost feel like I have to. Definitely Wawasee. I'd like to fish the Wolf and Fox River stop for the national series in August for Bassmaster, and just jumping in as many tournaments as possible this first year, and hopefully more, in the coming years, as I kind of weave more into the kayak scene again. And I'm super pumped, man. It feels so good to be back.
Well, I know it'll be a tough call for you to try and decide between the two, but obviously we'd love to see you at Raccoon. I mean, make a run at Angler of the Year. Obviously, you're excited about Wawasee, so could be a good event for you. But nonetheless, like you said, you punched your ticket. You're in the state championship. You can join us on Brookville later this summer, and we'd love to have you there, man.
Super pumped, man. Super pumped. And just to see everybody, right? I mean, you talked about the kayak side and how it's kind of a family. This weekend, I let it out a little bit. There were some troubles with me getting my kayak loaded and everything. No hesitation from anybody. The two gentlemen that were at my ramp, I don't even know if they knew me. I didn't know them. They had no hesitation to go out of their way. Just super thankful to have this community, and I'm happy to be back.
Talking about that, did you have you invested in a paddle yet?
No, so I haven't gotten a paddle yet, but I will have one for the next.
All right, I got a spare paddle. Just let me know if you need me to bring it next time.
All right. So do I.
You might as well.
I will bring it, he says. Well, Brandon, before we let you jump off here, man, we wanna respect your time and we appreciate you coming on. But before we let you go, is there anyone you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out? Anything like that before we send you off? Yeah.
First and foremost, just my friends and family. I got the best support system I could ever have asked for, and I want to thank y'all. Kind of the first season of this for the Indiana Bass Nation is super cool, and I'm pumped about it moving forward. And my sponsors, just Alva Garcia, Berkeley, Fenwick, and Honey Creek Tackle, man. I couldn't do it without them, and I appreciate their support, and I'm blessed to be with them.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of the series. All right. Well, with that said, we're going to drop Brendan out of here, and we're going to get into some other fun stuff.
Have a good one, man.
We'll see you boys down the road.
See you then. All right, Brendan McDougal. The kid is back.
Yes, he's going to be one to watch for sure.
22 now. Yeah, stick. Absolute stick. He was a stick before he left us and went to the glitter side. And he was a stick when he returned. I wonder if he thought coming into this one if he was going to get top 3. I guarantee you didn't think he was going to get a top 3 with 68 1/4 inches. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. Well, it doesn't look like our buddy Andy Lundy is going to be able to join us, but he was our Biz Baits big bass of the tournament. He had a big one of 18 and a half inches. Not giant by any means, but good enough.
Yeah, that Hobie Eyewear leaderboard was not lighting up by any means, but I mean, hopefully at Raccoon we can put some more on there. Keep Chris busy.
I definitely think we're going to see the number of fish entered increase in both of these events. Brendan's talked about it. There's going to be a lot of fish caught up there at Wawasee. Looking at past events, that seems to be the case. I think this is probably the latest Wawasee tournament we've seen in the state, so that'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But yeah, Andy Lundy getting big bass $50 gift card from Biz Baits was not able to knock off our top angler right now in the big bass category, which was Jason Wood at Patoka with a 21-incher. We thought going into this one, this would be the best chance for that one to get topped. So
they'll still be in the two other fisheries. They won't be. I mean, it won't be pre-spawn fish anymore, but definitely will have a good chance at it still. I mean,
Raccoon can produce them for sure. I can't say for Wawasee Syracuse. I don't know how many 21+ inch fish come out of there. I don't know. Raccoon.
I mean, I feel like most of those big lakes in Indiana, there's always a big one lurking somewhere.
Well, Jason, I'm holding out for you, man. Merlin doesn't have as much faith in you as I do, but I think it's possible. I think it's possible Jason takes that $500.
I won't be so disappointed to see a big fish. I mean, I know Jason doesn't want to, but I always like seeing those big fish cross the board.
No, I really do. I think there's a good possibility there at Raccoon for sure. So our Walton wild card fish of the week was an 1875.
We did not reach it, but we were able to impromptu everybody that showed up to the awards. We tossed them in the old random spinning wheel, and Justin Kivett ended up on top with taking home a new Walton rod. So he was excited to get that. He made a nice social media post about that. It was good to see. So
yeah, Walton Rod's RCT lineup that came out last fall, I think it was, that went live. So pretty cool to see that. Every event we're giving one of those away this season, including the championship. So good stuff there. All right, well, let's take a look at the Angler of the Year, should we?
Before you do that, Also all of our top three, they took home some Rogue swag. They took home a D-Hooker tool. First place also got a Yakutat gift card and a Hobie Eyewear gift card as well. So thanks to all our sponsors for providing those things for our anglers. So yeah.
Absolutely. All right, let's see here. Let's pull up the old screen share one more time. Last look at the leaderboard there with Jim Bailey on top. Congratulations again to him with 75.25 inches. Brendan, who we just talked to, 68.25. And rounding out the top three of that podium, Brian Moore, the coach, 67.25. Big implications. Almost a complete flip on our Angler of the Year series. Let's get into that. And your weather tight Angler of the Year leader right now, Jim Bailey, coming off that big win, was enough to take him to the top. 194 points. He's got a seventh place finish on Patoka Lake, and just took the win on Monroe. So looking good at the top there.
Yeah.
Next up, yours truly, 192 points, had a sixth at Patoka and a fourth, as we just talked about, on Monroe. Right behind me, Merlin Hammer the third with 190 points. Look how tight that is. 4 points of separation between third and fourth. And then we get down into our top three from the previous event. Neither of these guys had a great event on Monroe, but their top threes at Patoka, keeping them in the race. 186 points for James England and 183 points.
And with that getting a drop one, those guys will be looking to improve on their scores. So
yeah, absolutely. We take a look at the full standings right here. We do know, by the way, if you're looking at this spreadsheet, we do know there's a couple bugs. We'll try and get those worked out tomorrow. A couple anglers missing from this one that didn't fish Monroe, that did fish Monroe, but didn't fish Patoka. They're not showing up in here. A couple other little things, but your points at the top are all right. You can see again, Jim, myself, Merlin, James, Jason, and then Brian Moore jumping up into the race here in sixth place with a couple of solid finishes. Ryan Becker, Brian Sparks taking a tumble down into eighth. Tim Dempsey in ninth place, and Tweezy at a tie points wise. Oh no, yeah, in 10th.
Yeah, and with as you can see, there's zeros on there. If you don't score and if you don't catch a fish, you get a 0. So as you can see right now, though, we've had 43 individual anglers. So right now our top 21 or 2 are going. I need to figure out how we're rounding that. It's probably 22 or 24, actually, 22 or 23. We'll be making the championship based off the top half of the AOY. But season's still young. Hope to get a lot more individual anglers and really get that going. So
yeah, it's going to look good going into Raccoon. I'm really excited to see how things shake out there. A lot of these anglers have fished Raccoon. A good chunk of the anglers that have fished with us so far. Hopefully, we'll see a few new anglers jump in.
For those new anglers, as you can see from those standings, things are still completely wide open. You have as good a shot as anybody right now to make our championship based on Angler of the Year standings. So don't be like, well, it's already 2 events in. What am I jumping in for? It's definitely wide open.
It is wide open. Top 10 gets a chance to get into the championship, and that's going to be exciting stuff. So looking forward to Raccoon. That's June 13th. We got kind of a little bit of a longer gap than we did between Patoka and Monroe. We'll call it our mid-season gap here. This will probably be the last live we do for a little bit, take a little bit of a break. We got the HKB State Championship next week and some other things. So a little bit of a longer break. June 13th. Registration is open for that, as well as our final event, Wawasee and Syracuse. So you guys can jump in, register for those early. Of course, we appreciate that if you do. And that's going to be a fun one. The lake's pretty much at full pool almost now. And we got a cooler May. They're talking all the way through the mid part of May. Should be cool. So I think we're going to be in for a treat come June 13th on Raccoon Lake.
Oh, yeah.
And we have some announcements to make. So let's start with the Natty.
The big championship.
Yeah. So we've been talking about qualifying and getting to the state championship and all that kind of stuff. State championship, we're going to send top 10% from that event to the national championship. We've been waiting for the location. It was supposed to be somewhere in the Midwest. We got word last week that fell through, and that's why we've been waiting so long to hear. There were some rumors about a couple locations, and now we have, as of earlier this evening, the official announcement from Bassmaster. You can find it on Bassmaster.com. You can find it on the Bassmaster Kayak Series group page, and you can find it on the Bassmaster Facebook page with a full detail spread of all the information you need to know about that. There was one cool little nugget in there I read at the bottom that I didn't know. which is nice. About roll downs. So actually, if any of our anglers who qualify through our state championship are previously qualified for the Natty, those can roll down, which is really cool to other anglers. So I didn't know that. That was on that article. But the location.
I must have. I guess I misunderstood. I thought the roll downs are just for the national AOY. I didn't know it was for the 10% ones.
Maybe I could be wrong.
I don't know. I'll have to check it.
We'll clarify. We'll post. But yeah. So the important news is, though, the location has officially been announced, and it will be in South Carolina on Lake Murray.
We'll
Oh, what happened? I lost Merlin here.
No, you lost. We lost you.
You lost me, or I lost you. I don't know. One of the two.
Okay, everybody, we're back though.
We're back. So, in case somebody didn't hear me, there went Merlin. I don't know what's going on. Bugs. We got bugs. Technical difficulties.
All right, it was right before we were announcing it. It's holding us back.
Well, anyway, in case you guys didn't hear, I already announced it, but I don't know if it's me or if it's Merlin or if it's both. But in case you didn't hear, the national championship for the Bassmaster Kayak Series will be in South Carolina on Lake Murray.
Yeah, and it's a great fishery loaded with a lot of 3 to 5 pound fish. And also, if you want to see what it's like, the elites are fishing there this Thursday through Sunday. So, I mean, you can see what's in the lake if you don't know already. But I've only personally one experience there. Wasn't the best experience, but it was conditions that time. So I'm not blaming the lake. It just, sometimes that happens. So.
Murray is a top 5 lake for me. I love it. I've been there a handful of times now, but only in the spring. So I've never fished it in the summer or fall. It's a herring lake. Past the spawn, they really get on the herring. That's going to be an interesting dynamic to see if kayakers try and chase that bite or if they try and stick to more traditional, stuff. So I'm very much looking forward to that event. Hope I can make it. Can't wait to see Indiana represented in that event, both through anglers who qualify via the national trail and other states, and then, of course, the crew that we're going to send. So, really would like to make that personally. I'm excited for that call. Was looking forward to a Midwest event, but if you're going to go east somewhere, I'm happy it's Murray.
Yeah, and I'm only one good national event away from making it myself. So I
know you're right up there right now. Top 8, get ready to fish. Where's your next one?
In South Carolina also, at Santee Cooper. So
Santee Cooper. So we wish you luck there for sure. So yeah, that was the first of 2 big announcements. The next is going to be about our 2027 season, as well as the Grubby Championship. So let me talk a little bit about this. Some of you have maybe already seen a post on the Grubby group page. Maybe you haven't seen that already. So previously, we talked even on our past live about 2027 being this big year for the Bass Nation, because we were going to expand our tournament season, and it was actually going to start in the fall, this fall of 2026. So we were going to have an event in October and an event in November, 2 events. We're still going to do that, but we talked about how it was going to be in conjunction with the Grubby Championship. We talked about how it was going to be a 2-day event. Well, based off of some angler feedback, based off of some logistical challenges, and based off of conversation amongst the admin groups, both here at the Nation and with Grubby, felt it was best to make a couple changes. So the first thing we're going to share is the impact to the Nation, which is we will still be having our first tournament in October in conjunction with the Grubby Championship. But instead of a 2-day event, we will be sticking to a 1-day standard format for that event, which will be Saturday the 3rd, I believe it is. So Saturday the 3rd will be our first event of the 2027 season. It will be on Patoka Lake in conjunction with the Grubby Championship. The awards will have Saturday night at the same venue as the Grubby Championship. There'll be a small little awards ceremony for our event. And then Sunday, anglers can continue to compete in that Grubby Championship on day 2. But they threw out an interesting curveball tonight. And I got to be honest, man, as a traditionalist in the bass fishing world, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm like, part of me is really kind of excited about it, and part of me is kind of like, I don't know where to go with this. So
yeah, if you fished any of the KAS events, it's a very similar type deal in a way. And I think it works really well. And I've kind of pushed for something like this in the state on other formats, and it's cool to see. But yeah, I mean, you can tell them what it is.
Well, Grubby has made the decision to go to a 10 fish 2-day format, meaning that it is your best 10 fish regardless of when you catch them. If you catch 3 on day 1 and the remaining on day 2, you catch all 10 on day 1, you can't fish day 2 or vice versa. You want to lean on them on day 1 and then you want to go fish some new water and go for a big bite on day 2, you can do that. So 10 fish over the course of the 2 days, not a traditional 5 fish on day 1, 5 fish on day 2.
And why that's a big deal for being in conjunction is one of the things that we were like, oh no, we're maybe going to move to a 1-day event, Saturday event, is how are you going to conserve fish for Sunday, for Grubby, if you're whacking on them for the nation event. Well, you don't got to care about that anymore because you can continue whacking on them, rack them up, get your best 10 on Saturday if you're fishing both of our events. And you don't have to use that type of strategy in the event. So it'll be awesome.
Yeah, fish management was a big part of my Grubby Championship win last year. I think it's a big part of any tournament. You know, when you start getting really competitive, you start thinking about things like that. And that was one of those logistical things that we were considering when we were trying to make some decisions here. And it just so happened that Grubby was kind of kicking around the idea of doing this anyway, and that they wanted to move in that direction, and it kind of worked out. So really exciting stuff, and you know, we love our partnership with Grubby. We're super thankful to have them backing us and us backing them. You know, the Grubby guys have been amazing. Ryan Reedy and Kurt, you know, Kurt came out to Monroe, was camping, fishing, and did some cooking for us, had burgers and everything ready for us when we got there, which was awesome. A huge shout out to Reedy and the group for that, and trying to navigate this with us. You know, this is new for all of us, and really new. You don't see typically 2 separate organizations kind of working in conjunction the way we are, but we definitely feel like it gives an opportunity for the state and for the anglers, and we're excited about it. And truthfully, like, just super grateful that they were willing to step up and do this with us. Like, they didn't have to do that, and it just kind of shows, you know, how great the guys behind the Grubby admin team are. So
yeah, definitely awesome of them to make sure that everything goes good for both of us and their biggest event of the year. Like, they could just tell us, sorry about you, go figure your own thing out, but not how it is. It's awesome partnership for sure.
Yep. Exactly. So, all right, with that all being said, we're going to open it up for a little Q&A. If you guys have anything you guys want to talk about, any questions that you might have, we want to shout out Brendan again for coming on. Appreciate him. We're going to run through the chat group real quick and see if we have anything in here to share. If you guys have any questions, throw them in, and we'll answer those.
Pull up John's.
I'm sorry.
Pull up John's.
All right, let me get there. I'm not down there yet.
He's the first one on there. I mean, the most recent one. I guess.
Most recent, yeah. I wanted to jump back through the lineup here for a second. All right, here we go. John.
So you always got to catch 10 in the championships. It's just now you can catch them whenever you're out there.
Yep, it's not 10 each day. It's 5, or it's 10 for the entirety of the tournament. So yeah, you catch 10 on day 1, or you catch 1 on day 1. That's fine. You just got to have your best 10 for the 2 days. 2 days of tournament. It's like even hard to explain. That's how untraditional it is.
I think it's all. I mean, I think it's a great thing. It helps. So say you just had a really crappy day 1. So some guys in that situation just might be like, I just wasn't my time. I'm just gonna call it and whatever. Now you got all day 2 to figure it all out again.
I do think it opens up the playing field some. I like I said, again, as a kind of a traditional guy, I kind of like that you have to in the normal format, you have to kind of manage fish, you have to produce over a 2-day period, through different conditions and things like that. So there's this part of me that really kind of just doesn't want to attach to it. But then there's this other side of me, right brain, left brain, that I'm like, dang, this really opens it up. Like this changes things in a lot of ways, like how I could attack a lake and what I could do. I really like the idea of just being able to lean on them on day 1, because that's just fun. When you figure out something, you want to lean on those fish. And it takes out the stress of, okay, I'm at like 85 and I think it's going to take, 85 each day to win. Do I, it really opens it up. It's a different challenge. And so I'm excited about it. And I think it's going to make things,
Do you think it will make the winners total better or worse?
I was thinking about that earlier. Does this help the average angler? Does it help the more top end of the anglers? Is it going to improve totals or what? I really think it's still going to be the same people, and but I don't know. I mean, you go back and you let's look at last year's championship, for example. Both Jim Bailey and Eric Tracy had an amazing day 1. Amazing day 1. Cold, they had big fish. I had okay day 1 and I had an okay day 2. I mean, really solid day 1 and day 2, but I didn't have an amazing day, right? So that would have been probably a different outcome for them. Good. But I also was holding back on day 1. I don't know what those guys did. Did they hold back? Did they go all in? I was holding back on day 1 because I didn't think I had enough in that area to be able to use it for 2 days if I really leaned on them, and I wasn't confident enough in my other stuff. So I don't know. It's going to be fun to see. All right. Any other questions, guys? John, thank you for that one, man. Appreciate you. Hopefully we'll see you at Raccoon, maybe. I know we're going to see you at Wawasee Syracuse, right?
Austin wants it to be his birthday bash at Raccoon. I mean, you got to come fish with us to be a birthday bash.
Hey, I like that idea though, Austin. We could do that. Maybe we grab some burgers and some beer after or something. Yeah, that'd be cool.
He does say he's looking to jump into the mix, so he hasn't been able to make one this year. It'll be good to see him come out there with us.
Well, we'd love to see you, buddy. We'd love to have you out there. John says, Wawasee, definitely. So he's hedging his entire bet on that one tournament. He's like, I'm going that one. That's where I'm going to get my top 10. That's where I'm going to qualify and get to Brookville. I like it. Austin said he'll be there. All right. We'll see him at Raccoon. Great stuff. All right, man. Well, with that, I think we're going to wrap up tonight's Go Live, brought to you by Ketch Products. Go check them out. Not only do they make amazing catch boards that we all use to measure our fish, they make amazing trophies and tons of great accessories for your kayaks. I know mine's decked out in Ketch stuff. I love all their upgraded track accessories and actual tracks and crossbars and all kinds of good stuff over there at Ketch. So go check them out. Ketch Products on Facebook and Instagram. Ketch Products on the website there. Load up, rig out the kayak. We need to have a kayak, like a car show, but like a kayak show. How cool would that be? And a swap meet, all in one. Like, come set up the kayak, rig it up. We could have like voting on coolest kayak, most over-rigged kayak, simplest kayak, most creative kayak, DIY kayak. We have like all kinds of categories. I don't know. Am I crazy, or do you guys think that'd be fun? I actually have a pretty cool venue we could potentially use for this. Do a little swap meet action. Maybe raise some money for charity. Maybe raise some money for Merlin because he's going broke, trying to run the nation over here. Maybe give away some cool stuff. It's just a thought for the off-season-ish time frame. Maybe midsummer. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it's great because not only is it just showing off your stuff, it's cool to take ideas from each other like that you don't normally do.
It is. So if you guys like that idea, shoot us a message, throw it up in the comments, something like that. Something I've been thinking about. I think it would be fun. Oh, we got another comment here from Austin. Isn't BizBaits located near Lake Murray? So yeah, not close. BizBaits is in the Raleigh, North Carolina area, not too far off, So I do like to stop in there when I go down there. So I will be visiting my boys at BizBaits.
Just a few hours away.
If I can make the tournament. So. Thought I saw another comment come in, but I guess my eyes are deceiving me. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for tuning in, and we will be live with our Raccoon Lake preview the week before that event. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, we're going to take a little hiatus from the live, and we'll see you soon.
Get signed up.
Get signed up early. Thank you, guys.